Good morning. Today is January 6th, 2012. I'm James, as you know. Today is day one of the Cube method for myself, my buddy Jared, Eric, and Zach. Today I will be doing the heavy pulling portion of it. Very excited. A little background about myself. Very cliche introduction to lifting was my first weight set, which happened to be a weeder, plastic and sand set, blue bench. Just came with the bench and the leg curl, leg extension part of it. But it came with a poster of Arnold displaying exercises. And being a Commando, Conan, Terminator fan, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So that was my introduction to lifting. My dad was an avid lifter too, growing up, and I can remember him with all the weeder products and things like that. I do remember going to gym with him. And recently, just looking at some old pictures, I saw a picture of him when he was probably at his biggest, and you could tell he put in the work. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you taking some time to check this out. The purpose of this is just to track and log my success with the Cube method and the carb backloading that I'm going to be doing. I'd like to thank Corey Hayes, Brandon Lilly, Louis Simmons, and Kiefer. I drop names not to act like I'm a big deal, but when people who advocate or come out with methods, do the research, those that have experience, when they're willing to give back to people looking for knowledge and have questions, I want to give them credit. It says a lot about their professional character, and they've been nothing short of great in answering my questions. So that's where a lot of the motivation comes from. I started powerlifting last March. I would say is where it really took off. I did one meet prior to that. It was just a push-pull meet, nothing great. Prior to that, I was an aspiring bodybuilder. I did 2 shows, one in 2007 and then one in 2009. Enjoyed the challenge of bodybuilding, but I never experienced the type of success that I guess I hope to achieve. And a lot of it is, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. I have every built-in excuse in the world, but my preparation was not what it needed to be to show the sport the respect it deserves. And I think just for me, powerlifting is it's more suited for me. I guess I'll just say that. I did start out with powerlifting using Westside conjugate methods. My lifting partner Zach and I started utilizing bands and later chains and experienced some great success. Just got done with a meet in late October, and I guess for me personally, the meet went well. I won both of my divisions, but I left at least 300 pounds in the gym. And I was getting kind of bored with the method, burnt out from the method. And when the Cube book by Brandon Lilly came out, when I read it, it really spoke to my experience about just kind of, getting weaker, getting more out of shape, just kind of in a lull, just doing the movements without knowing really why I'm doing them anymore. And I think a lot of that came from just my being disappointed in how I did in the meet overall, numbers wise. So when the book came out, I got it and I read it in one night, and it was like, man, it's like he had a hidden camera on me in my mind and knew exactly what was going on. So it spoke volumes to me, and it really motivated me to make this change. A few of my buddies who researched the method too, they kind of felt the same thing. With Westside, we were maxing out twice a week, and for a while there, we were getting PRs every week. But then it got to the point where it was like, I don't know if we weren't recovering. I'm not sure what it was. I know one thing, that the power piece was there, but to me, strength and power are two different things. And I think we stopped building strength at some point. And with the Cube method, there is large components of where you're building strength. And you get to do different movements. Like our deadlift really suffered in the West Side method because, we hardly did any deadlifting with it. With the Cube method, you do some pulls, which will be nice, never from the floor. That's for competition day. But you're doing the pulls and the movements. I felt our quads definitely got weaker. We didn't do enough quad work. Box squats, it definitely helped for me, some explosion out of the hole. But I think it caused me to neglect my quads a lot more. And I noticed through the process of West Side, my stance got a lot wider. I was a narrow squatter, when I started out. But the box squatting and just following what they were doing made me widen my base a lot more. And I still squat pretty wide, even on my conventional now. But I'm looking forward to gaining some more quad strength as well. On the Facebook page that I'm doing this is more or less for accountability. I am a man of my word, and so when I start something, I want to finish it, and it's just a way of holding myself accountable. Not to mention, feedback or any suggestions that I can get along the way. Awesome. I'm open to it. I'm not that proud to not ask for help or receive constructive criticism. And I'm looking forward to the challenge. My main goals through this whole process is to do this, number one, for myself. I think, and I can be honest about this, for many years in my life, and I think a lot of men fall in this category, we lifted for one reason only, and that was for women. It was the vanity piece. And that speaks to a lot of my life where I've done things for other people opposed to myself. So that's something that I definitely want to change and give myself an opportunity to, be successful for myself. That's really the bottom line with this. I also want to start having fun with lifting again. Brandon said it great. He was not having fun anymore, and the gym almost became a chore, and that's not what it should be. It's a passion. It's it's a hobby, I guess. Depends how you qualify hobby, but it's also a way of life. And for me, when I was at my best lifting, that discipline and dedication carried over to other parts of my life. In the past 2 months, not the case. My sloppy lifting and not recording workouts and short stroke and accessory work, it followed through in other parts of my life, and that's not me. So today, like I said earlier, I do have the heavy pulling on the Facebook page. You can see what my lifting is going to do. Talk a little bit about carb backloading method put out by Kiefer. It makes a lot of sense to me, for me personally. So what I'm going to do is I will log and record my intake later on today. I already started out with my coffee, coconut oil, and my little bit of whey isolate. And I'll also go through a brief little thing about the supplementation I'm using too. Supplements aren't everything, but they do help fill in the gaps in recovery. So I'm signing out now. Go to subs.com for all your supplement needs, stopping at Supplement City. And I just want to give a shout out to Christy, Dan, and Ben over at Iron's Physique Gym, the best gym I've ever been to. We appreciate your support for the power lifters and the bodybuilders, fitness competitors. And yeah, we couldn't do the work without your dedication. It's very nice to see our membership fees going back to the gym. And yeah, I mean, every time we go in there, there's new plates, new dumbbells, new equipment, and we appreciate you always just talking to us and seeing what we need as lifters to be successful. So thank you for the support from everybody, especially my girlfriend. She puts up with a lot of neurotic stuff when it comes to lifting. I have not been happy in the past couple months. Not sure why. I think a lot of it has to do with the lifting. So you've been patient with me. You've been very supportive with my lifting. So we'll get this done and we'll check back later on today. Have a great day.